this race, and who's to know what else is to come for them.
On the restart,
he's one of the craftiest men in this business, as you know.
Ricky Rudd in first. Labonte is in second. Terry Labonte running in second. Ricky Rudd on the point as they go down. Harry Gant running in third. Whittington is in fourth, but Baker is breaking upside, trying to move through.
So our camera car now lying in second spot as they go round turn 2 to come down onto the back straight. Following Ricky Rudd, one of the youngest men in this race. He's only 24 years old, rookie of the year in 1977. And with a new, strong team, the Dygard team, which Darrell Waltrip left last year, this could be Ricky Rudd's best year yet. In fact,
number 44. Terry Labonte of Corpus Christi, Texas. His dad got him started in racing. Let's go to Brock Yates.
Ken, I'm with Junior Johnson. He can talk now. Junior, have you got your problems sorted out now?
Well, we got just a little bit of oil leak somewhere or another that's dropping on the exhaust pipe. It's smoking a little bit, but it ain't leaking out underneath the car, so it's just a seep somewhere or another. We don't think it's no major problem with it.
Okay, thank you. Believe it or not, Ken, it's so loud down here, I couldn't hear a word he said, but I presume you know what he's talking about. Back to you.
They think they can get along with the problem, but right now, problems for Ricky Rudd as Terry Labonte in car number 44 moves in on his rear bumper.
And back into third spot goes car number 28. This is going to give us some sort of clue as to just how fast Bobby Allison's car really is, because he was back in sixth and he's already up to third, and it just depends how quick he can cover that gap.
Cale Yarborough away in the back of that flock as they come around to complete the 27th lap. Yarborough is running about 13th in that field. He'll have some going to do, the 1968-77 champion. And there you get a feeling for the tremendous speed these 3,700-pound racing cars are dealing with. Back they go in the back straightaway.
Terry Labonte drafting right behind Ricky Rudd as they go into turn 3. You haven't...
Earlier, we talked to Cale Yarborough in 27. And checking him as they go down the back straightaway. Allison had clear sailing the last lap where Petty had to get around some traffic.
He still has a 9-second lead, and with only 7 laps to go. They aren't winding him in at all. They're making no appreciable ground on him at all. Jody Ridley pulling into the pits, number 90.
Crowd
in 7th spot.
Just can't believe this one. It looked like it was going to be Allison's almost all day, but in the last moments, it was in the very last lap in 1979 when Bobby Allison, Donnie Allison, Cale Yarborough, remember it was Bobby and Cale that were involved. Donnie pulled around. Well, now this time, it's been Bobby and Richard right toward the finish, and it's been the pit crews that have made the difference. 5 laps to go next time by.
I'm not counting the fact that Richard Petty has won this race yet, because there are 5 laps to go and no race is won until the checkered flag is dropped. But if he does win, it'll be absolutely unbelievable, because the Bobby Allison Pontiac has been the strongest car all month, and it was clearly the strongest car in this race so far, having led 117 laps.
Petty comes across the line. We're checking on that interval back to the second place car at the last. Allison. Interval stands at 8 7/10 of a second. 8.7 laps running down. Working the 196 right now.
And Buddy Baker and Dale Earnhardt, for some reason or other, have dropped right off the pace. And it looks like young Ricky Rudd could finish up a very strong third in this race.
It'll be a great race for the Gardner brothers.
Richard Petty sitting in there, looking unconcerned in that close-up shot, but just look how high he gets in the middle of turn 3 and 4 there. Nobody runs closer to the wall than Richard Petty.
No one uses the tri-oval like Richard Petty. Likes to pass there. Oh, there's the signal. Harold Kindred putting out the marker to Richard Petty. 4 to go.
Into turn 1. Again, runs through turn 1, goes in low, comes right up high.
There's Allison running in second. Interval staying now at about 8 5/10 of a second. There's Petty out in front. Richard Petty and his crew. Interval comes down and shrinks a little to 7 6/10 of a second. 7 now the interval. Allison is going all out to try and catch Petty.
Absolutely willing that car on at this stage in the game. Foot pressed, absolutely mashed to the floor. We heard Lenny Pond say he couldn't run more than 5 laps wide open around here. You can rest assured that both Richard Petty and Bobby Allison are going around this track absolutely full throttle all the way. And whoever's got the best chassis set up is getting through these turns best, losing less speed and pulling down the straights faster.
There's Bobby Allison trying for his 62nd career win in this Daytona 500. Looking up from under as we look at the interval another time. It's down to 6 9/10 of a second between 43 and 28, the second place car. There you see Rutherford, who's running back in 12th. Richard Petty going for his 193rd career win in Grand National Racing. And still to come. There's Allison coming to the line as we check that interval another time. It continues to shrink, getting closer all the time. It's now 6.5 seconds, but time is running out. A brilliant maneuver by Dale Inman and Maurice Petty may have given their cousin and brother, respectively, this Daytona 500.
Well, a lot of it depends on the driver, too. Richard must have said to them, don't change the right side tires. He must have told them not to change them. He was happy with the way it was set up. And that's what he told them to do, and they didn't. And they did a 6.8 second pit stop, and that's what's given him this race. It looks like he's going to win by about 6.5 seconds.
White flag coming up. 1 lap to go for Richard Petty, who looks like he's on his way to his 193rd career win. I'll tell you, I want to be there the day he wins 200. The crowd up on their feet. One of the most beloved race drivers in the history of the sport, going down into turn number 2. You are watching an incredible moment in the history of motorsport. Here is a man winning the most difficult, the most prestigious stock car race there is for the 7th time. Bobby Allison. No-win situation.
The sort of strategy he pulled here is like sinking at about a 90-foot putt to win the U.S. Open by 1 hole.
Out of turn number 4, Richard Petty holding on to that lead like a hammerhead shark. Here he comes, coming down, seeking out. And is he slowing down? Is he running out of fuel? He's coming across the line slowly, but he takes the checkered flag. And a car is in the wall. Stan Barrett has crashed just at the finish. Number 22, Barrett, has walled his automobile. Richard Petty has won it right at the finish. Stan Barrett has crashed car number 22. He's all the way up against the wall in turn number 4, coming right down by our camera, holding it up there on the wall. He was running in 10th position. We have a replay of that incident. There is Petty, the winner. We'll meet him in victory lane in just a moment. Let's take a look at what happened to number 22, way down at the bottom.
Oh, he got on the apron at the bottom of the bank, and that's just absolutely fatal. Sent him straight up into the wall. It looks like he'd already hit the wall once and sent him down to the bottom. What a shame for Stan Barrett. Turn 4, last corner, last lap. Boy, I mean, that is tough to take.
The crowd up and waiting now. Stan Barrett's going to drive this car across. He slid it all the way down the wall, stayed in the wall, and he's going to come across the line. How about that? His first Daytona 500. Looks like he's still going to finish in 10th position. Stan Barrett is coming across the stripe. That's all right. The crowd is awaiting Richard Petty. Here he comes in, and what a response he is getting from the 100,000 gathered today.
The disappointment in the Bobby Allison pit would be almost more than you could stand. It must be just absolutely intense. They had this race locked up all month, and they just somehow blew it with only 20-odd laps to go.
Well, here is one of the great masters of the sport, Richard Petty, scoring his 193rd career win. It would be something to be with him for number 200. No one has ever done it in the history of the game, won that many races in any form of motorsport, and he has just out-snookered them here in the 500, David.
Well, he's only got 7 races to go to that magic 200. Boy, what a figure. Some people are happy if they win 2 races, and here we have a man that's won the Daytona 500 7 times, and nobody else has won it twice.
We'll try to give you in just a moment a rundown. There's Ralph Salvino.